Hey everyone, in this video I'm going to update you on Amazon's progress in expanding into this $800 billion market and what that could mean for Amazon stock investors. In its most recent earnings call, Robert Bayard and Corporated Research Division senior analyst Colin Sebastian also was curious about this $800 billion segment expansion and asking Amazon about the physical stores, including the grocery store strategy. Earlier in the year, Amazon CEO Andy Jassy, in his shareholder letter to investors, told investors that grocery is an $800 billion segment in the US alone, with the average household shopping 3 or 4 times per week. He went on in that shareholder letter to say that we are not happy with our limited role in that industry. In other words, saying we want more. And so in this video, in the most recent earnings call, Amazon updated investors, and so that's what I'm going to go through with you today. So the CEO responded to that question by saying, we have an interesting grocery business where we've been in it for a while, and we have actually quite a large grocery business. It's just an unusual selection of grocery business. Very much like how grocery got started 25, 30 years ago, where the selection are items that are not temperature controlled. So that's the big thing with Amazon. The area where it's having the most difficulty, the biggest challenge, is delivering temperature controlled items, right? If you're buying ice cream, for instance, it's hard to sell ice cream if you're Amazon because it's gonna melt by the time you deliver it. Or if you're selling, meats and vegetables and things that need to be kept cool, it's hard to do if you're Amazon, and it's hard to deliver those kinds of items and store those kinds of items. So it needs to solve for that problem before it can really increase exponentially the amount of customers it can serve and the amount of products it can sell. The CEO goes on and says, "We've got Whole Foods, which really pioneered the organic grocery space, and that continues to grow nicely." That's true. Whole Foods very serves that particular segment looking for organic grocery very well. However, that's not a mass market product. Most people cannot afford to pay the premium prices that Whole Foods charges for grocery. So for that specific upper scale market, they've got a good business there. But again, that's not a solution to Amazon's ambitions to expand in this $800 billion market because there's only so many people that can afford to shop at Whole Foods. And so you the the CEO highlights this. You have to have a mass physical offering. And that's what we've been working on for a few years with the brand that they call Amazon Fresh. Now, we wish we were further along. We've tried a lot of ideas. We haven't yet found conviction around the format that we want to go expand much more broadly. So, in other words, saying like we've tried a few different things and we found out that these are not going to work. We tried it, we did the research, we counted the results, and we figured this is not going to work. This is not the strategy we want to roll out like nationwide and worldwide. So, two things with that. You can look at that and say, wow, Amazon is not doing a good job because they're, they can't find out, they can't find a way to make it work. And yeah, that would be an accurate assessment because they've tried a bunch of things and they couldn't figure it out. That would be true. Another way to look at it is to think that, hey, they've made some really good progress because now they found out, this, and this is not going to work. So they've done the research and they know these things won't work, so they can remove that and focus in new areas that could potentially work, right? So that research that they've done is going to prove valuable in their search for the future. It's not just wasted costs in trying to figure things out, right? It's spending that went to um, try to find a solution that didn't work. You can say, all right, we tried it. Here's the data. Here's what we can learn from it. And then here's how we can improve it and maybe try something new. So there is value in that, in the research that went into those projects and the data that was collected. And Amazon can capitalize on that in its progress to find the solution. It goes on to say that I think that having that physical presence, we will also have the ability both to be able to serve the grocery products they come for, as well as store some other pieces and help customers across some other product lines as well. And I think reading between the lines here and what I've been kind of in my mind thinking about the potential for Amazon in rolling out this big physical presence is not so much on that $800 billion grocery market. Like, that's all great, wonderful, right? But that's a low margin business. If you look at other grocery retailers, 2 to 3% operating profit margins, maybe 4%, right? So even if they were to capture 50% of that market, let's say $400 billion at, let's give them a 3% operating profit margin on that, that would only add $12 billion annually in operating income for Amazon. Not very massive when considering, you look at the market, oh my God, 800 billion, but it could only add about $12 billion in operating income just from the grocery segment if they get everything perfectly right and capture 50% market share, which is highly, highly unlikely, right? So I think the bigger potential out of the grocery business for Amazon is to uh, supplement and kind of reduce and spread out the costs of rolling out a big physical store network. Right up until this point, Amazon has not had a big physical store presence. It's been mostly warehouses and then shipping items to your house from the warehouses. But if it can manage to have a massive store presence, right? Think like, let's say the size of Target. Target has 2,000 stores in the US, brick and mortar. So if Amazon can manage that, 2,000 brick and mortar stores, think of how much that could help Amazon on the cost side. On the cost side, not on the revenue those stores will bring in. Yes, it will, okay, but bigger benefit could be on the cost side because Amazon could then tell you, hey, instead of us shipping you this item to your house, why not come pick it up at an Amazon store? While you come do your grocery shopping, why don't you come in and pick up your items as well? And if Amazon can convince even a fraction of people to switch the delivery from in-home to delivery to picking it up at the stores, that could be a huge saving on for Amazon on the cost side. Because remember, Amazon spent over $500 billion on expenses in 2022. So there's more potential in reducing expenses for Amazon than there is in expanding in terms of revenue and operating income for the grocery segment. So that's something I'm, keeping an eye out for in, maybe Amazon management is not going to come right out and say it, but they give me little hints like this, which makes me think that you know, they see something there, they see the potential there to kind of roll out that physical network using grocery as a way to kind of spread out the cost, right? So you're not just building these stores to have people pick up and return items, but you're building these grocery stores, and oh, you can have a little corner of the store to where people can pick up items and return items too, because that costs Amazon a lot of money to pay for return shipping and handling. So this is a huge thing. I'm certainly keeping an eye out for, and I think if you're an Amazon stock investor, or if you're interested in investing in Amazon stock, this is a catalyst that could really boost the stock if it makes progress on this front over the next, I wouldn't expect anything in the next year, but maybe over the next 2 to 5 years, they may start to, if they figure out the formula and really start rolling it out, it could be huge news. All right, that's all I've got for this video. If you enjoyed this and you want more videos like this one, please subscribe. I do several videos per day, and I think you would like it. Thank you so much for watching. I want to thank the Motley Fool for sponsoring this video. Visit fool.com/parkev for the 10 best stocks to buy now.